Hi everyone, this is Heidi Hancock with Double Magenta, Intuitive Energy Healing, and this is your soul message for November 2019. I feel like I say this every month. Holy cow, there's a lot going on. This month we're talking about the balance of opposites. And as we move into the beginning of November, we have a Mercury retrograde going on until I believe November 20th. And there is usually about a week to 2 week setup period before and after a retrograde. So we're going to be in it all month. And Mercury is the planet of communication, technology, and there's communication with ourselves and with others, and then things that break down in technology, computers, travel, all those kind of things. On the surface level, you can look at it as that, like if the car breaks down, the computer crashes, those kind of things. But interpersonally, it's how we relate and communicate with ourselves and with each other. So that's going to play in as we talk about these other themes. So one of the major themes that I see is we're kind of lifting the lid on things that we have previously believed were absolute truths. So one example of that is flipping a coin over that has been stuck to the ground for a very long time that you thought was only one-sided, and you thought that was the only truth that was there. And now we're in this interesting questioning phase that's starting to come up, where we're picking that up and flipping it and looking at the other side, hoping someone hasn't glued it to the ground. But flipping it over, and it's been that one way for so long that when we flip it over, there may be dirt and grime on the bottom of it. So that's metaphorical of this sense of disillusionment that could come in when we have fully believed something was one way, and then we flip it over and we look at it. There's this disillusionment period of like, okay, is that truth? Is the other truth? Which is it? And there's this period that we have to clean the top of that coin off so that we can actually see the shine underneath and we can see the truth there. And so there's that period of questioning going on. Is this thing that I have always believed, is that the truth, or is the opposite the truth? I met this beautiful medicine man recently who was talking to me about the medicine wheel, and he was saying that when you have a problem, instead of focusing on the problem, try to focus on the opposite. What is the medicine? And so there's a little bit of that kind of dance going on, where maybe we only focused on the problem, and with our cerebral mind we were trying to fix the problem instead of, as Walter also says, getting pregnant with it. I love this idea that we're not using our mind, that we bring the issue or the question all the way down into our belly and we just let it percolate and we let it sit there. So we're in that energy this month. It's that, we've seen the coin one way and then we're flipping it over and we're seeing that there's another truth, or there's more information on the other side that we weren't, that wasn't accessible to us before. And now we're looking and saying, oh, wow, maybe there's something else. And there's that period of disillusionment because you always thought it was one way and then you're switching it. And so we're in that period of questioning, and what I think is so beautiful is, we've been living in this paradigm for such a long time with these structures in place and told that this is how the world is, and because this is how the world is, these are the only options of the ways that we can show up in it. And as those structures are starting to dissolve on their own, it's bringing this new information up from the ground that has us questioning, okay, well, wait, maybe there's more information here. And if there's more information there and you're getting pregnant with it and you're thinking about it, you're letting it percolate and letting it reveal itself to you, as all of those structures start to shift and change, then the possibilities and the opportunities for you and how you can show up in the world shift and change as well. And so it's really going to be this beautiful month of, kind of being in that percolating stage, being in the root of fall, and kind of seeing what's going to grow, what's going to come out of that. So there's a couple things to focus on this month, and then we're going to do a guided meditation. So one of the things is self-trust. So because we have been in this space for so long of being told how the world is and therefore told how we can show up in it, We have to shift our focus now, and instead of trusting what we hear from the outside, we're bringing it in and questioning it within ourselves. Is that true for me? Does that resonate with me? Because we are all different people. We are all going to resonate with different things, with different truths. And those truths are going to help inform how we can show up in the world, what gifts that we have that may have been uncovered that are really useful for this particular situation that's coming about now that wasn't available or wasn't accessible to us before. So there's the self-trust, and then to build on that, sacred space and time. So the other thing is that you're going to want to remove yourself a little bit. This doesn't have to mean that you have to be antisocial, but remove yourself a little bit from the social, frenetic, run, 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 go, go, go thing, because in order to kind of access this sense of self-trust, you're going to need to have a little break from the messages of the outside world. So creating sacred space and time for yourself. Maybe that looks like, pouring yourself a cup of tea and staring out the window, and you're not doing anything, but you're tuning into yourself. What is true for me right now? How am I feeling? What do I need? What are new creative ideas that are coming up that maybe you've been, even an entrepreneur for years. I'm starting to notice this for myself. I've been doing my own energy healing practice for 2 years now, and all of a sudden these new practices are coming up. I'm doing spirit readings now for people, where it's just a straight intuitive reading. These are new things that if I hadn't taken the time to really kind of tune in and go, hey, this is what's showing up in the collective. People are asking me to do this. Maybe this is something new that I can offer. So it's similar for whatever you're doing. If you are currently working at a corporate job and you don't like it and you want to go out and do something on your own, let that percolate a little bit. What would be that thing? What could you offer in the world? What is something, that you have a gift or a quality that you could offer that you haven't really pursued, but it's something that you want to. So it's those things, but you have to create that sacred space and time of aloneness. Maybe it's just meditation. Maybe it's doing yoga at home instead of in community, so that you can have that space of really connecting to your body and listening to it without kind of noticing what everybody else is doing in the room. And then the last piece is balance. So this is kind of the overarching theme, the balance of opposites. So what I've discovered in my own practice and in my own life is when there's two sides of this coin, and there's the yes or the no, the right or the wrong, the black or the white, the answer is usually somewhere in the middle. It's usually not at one of those extremes. And so the idea here isn't to flip over the coin, see what's on the other side, and then completely change your beliefs to go for that. There may be some truth in what you've always known, but you're going to shed off some of the old things that don't serve you anymore or don't serve the other people around you. This is true with sexism, racism, cultural appropriation, all of those bigger topics that are definitely in the water right now, the environmental movement. If you aren't looking at the other side, if you aren't looking and questioning your own beliefs, then you can't get to that middle place if you're so anchored at your extreme. And maybe you don't even realize that your thoughts and beliefs are at an extreme. So that's another thing that you can start to question and to bring yourself into that balance in the center. So for this month, we're going to do a guided meditation. And so just go ahead and close your eyes and come to a comfortable position. And you can do this sitting up or lying down. It really doesn't matter, just as long as you're comfortable. And if you're seated, you want your spine long, and as much as you can, your seat elevated so that your knees can rest comfortably on the ground. And just begin to take a few breaths, inhaling through the nose and exhaling out the mouth. And inhaling again through the nose. And exhaling out the mouth. And inhaling through the nose. And exhaling out the mouth. bringing your attention down into your belly, into your root, feeling your seat on the ground if you're seated, or just notice your root, your hips, your pelvis connected to the surface you're lying on if you're lying down. And begin following that energy down into the ground. So if you're seated, you're going to go right out of your spine, down into the ground. If you're lying down, you can send the energy down your legs, out your feet, and down into the earth. And you're going to move into the soil, into the grass, to the plants, the tree roots, following the tree roots down further into the earth until you reach the rocks and the minerals, moving through the richness and the information there, moving down into the crystals, and just allow your energetic self to move and shake off any energy that isn't yours or no longer serves you. Just releasing that and allowing the crystals to collect that, and they will transmute it, clear it, and shift it. And then allow yourself to move all the way down into the core of the earth. And feel the energy there. Feel the connection with Pachamama, Mother Earth. Feel her vibrancy, her aliveness, her fierceness, her clarity. And just allow yourself to notice any busy, excess energy that you're ready to let go of. Anything that's connected to these old beliefs. Anything that you thought was true and you've learned is not true for you. And just gather those things up and offer them to Mother Earth. You can see yourself handing those things to her. You can see yourself releasing those in the ocean or in the earth. And she takes these things, she takes our wounds, our disillusionment, our frustration, our challenges, our anger, our hurt, and she transmutes those back into life force energy for us. And in that way, we have this beautiful give and receive that happens with Mother Earth. We receive her oxygen, her air, her plants, so that we can nourish ourselves. And then when we get down or struggle with anything that's difficult, we can send that to her. And she transmutes that. And it's not a negative thing that we're giving her those. We're not meant to hold all of it. We're meant to have this give and receive, this exchange of energy. So just allow yourself to continue letting go of anything that's left. Any misunderstandings or any things that you don't know yet. And release those. See her filling you back up with beautiful crystalline energy, light and fluffy. And thank her for this gift, for this exchange. And then begin seeing yourself move back up out of the core of the earth, up through the crystals, the rocks and the minerals, the tree roots, the plants, the grass, the soil, back up into your feet, your legs, your hips, anchored there at your root. Coming back into your body, feeling the surface beneath you or behind you. And just allow yourself to open your eyes slowly. So you can come back and do this meditation throughout the month if you want to just have another sense of release as things come up, or disillusionments or questions, and you want to release them again. Feel free to do the meditation again. I'm going to try for the first time this month doing an audio recording of just the meditation and putting that on my website under the Soul Messages tab that you can download so that you can have that. And I'll try to do that with the chants and things going forward so that you have access to just that piece. And if you're not already subscribed to my website, you can go to doublemagenta.com to do that, to get notifications of these messages, and then to get the links for the website and the recordings. So I wish you well in November, getting pregnant with it, and seeing what else is out there for you that has not been revealed until now. So blessings. Namaste.